Hello there. Today is going to be a bit of a strange review. I'm going to be reviewing, and it's a bit of a mouthful, Parallel 49's Coffee Porter, made with 49th Parallel Coffee, Roasters Coffee. Yeah, so there is a coffee company called 49th Parallel, and they make coffee in my province. In Vancouver. They're not related at all. It's just, for those of you that don't know, the 49th parallel is the border between Western Canada and the United States. It was established during colonial period when American and Canadian settlers were settling into, well, American and British settlers, because Canada didn't exist yet. Canadian identity certainly didn't exist yet, as we know it today. We're settling into Columbia, or as the Americans call it, Oregon and Washington. And basically war was going to break out, but then there was diplomacy was done, and for the first time in ages, they agreed on a common border for an area, which became the 49th parallel on the latitude in the globe, except for Vancouver Island, which that one extends down. I guess the Americans didn't want any more hippies. This did create some unusual stuff. Like there's a town called Point Roberts, which is on the end of a peninsula in mainland British Columbia, which is like 5 kilometers wide, and it's part of the United States. They don't have a school there, so they have to bus into Canada, then bus into Washington State to go to school. We mostly go there to get American goods we can't get here. So their economy is entirely based on Canadian consumer shoppers and gas price peddlers. Anyway, back to the beer. So yeah, this is a collaboration piece between a coffee company and a beer company, and there are porters out there that involve coffee. So I'm looking forward to this. I have never had 49th Parallel's coffee. The usual coffee brand I buy is Republica, because they sell them in the coffee shop below my building. Yes, I'm a degenerate hipster even when it comes to coffee. So I'm looking forward to this. Actually, I will just say outright, I already filmed a review for this one, so I have already tried it. But I felt the opinion in my original review that I reviewed when this was back in December. I felt that the content of my original review was so wrong from my actual opinion that I could not in good conscience release it. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave that with you. In the meantime, I'm going to open up this beer and try it. Maybe, well, I'm not going to spoil it. Let's just get on with it. Pour it out to my porter glass. Okay, so, hello Aurelius. So the first thing you might notice is, and I poured this like a maniac, I didn't try to like limit the head on this. The head is very small. And that was a problem with all the other bottles I drank. This came in packages of 4 bottles, which porters and stouts seem to always do for some reason. Okay, come on. But it's already gone. The head's already gone. Like, it's gone. So this is problem number 1 I had with this beer. It's kind of flattish, and I thought this might have been like an issue with the first beer I drank out of it, which I did for the original review, but then I found they were all like this. And this wouldn't be a problem if it still tasted fizzy, but I can tell you already, one of the most prominent things I remember is it tasted kind of flat. There's bubbles if you really focus on it, but not a lot. Anyway, let's just focus on my opinion here and now, though. It smells like coffee. Cold coffee, but coffee. That's all I get from it, and there's nothing wrong with smelling like coffee. It just smells like coffee. Gosh, I wonder if this is buying into this whole cold brewing thing that hipsters are doing with coffee. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm skeptical. Anyway, let's try the beer. So I'm gonna get started with the good stuff. The coffee flavor is robust and fantastic. It's a very good coffee in here. It's a very, very good coffee. Even when it's served cold, I can taste the beans and I can tell they are quality. I'm not really an expert on coffee, but I like good coffee beans, and these are good coffee beans. Not like over-roasted Starbucks ones. They're delicious, but not overpowering. Now, that's the only thing I can say that's positive about this. Which brings me to the net problem I have with this beer. It's more of a coffee than a beer. Like I said, it's flat. The coffee taste is prominent. I can barely even taste alcohol in it. And I've never drank cold coffee except for like the occasional time I had some like really prissy Starbucks like dessert coffee, and I don't really like those that much either. So I'm already at a loss here. I don't like cold coffee. I guess this is the only cold coffee I've had, but I don't like it. I like the coffee taste, but I'm expecting a beer when I have, cold beverage like this. And this is way more of a coffee than a beer. Like you can't even taste the carbonation really. If it was actually carbonated properly, I'm sure I would like it a bit more. But the fact is, right now, with such weak carbonation, and this was on every bottle in the package I had, so it's not just a one bottle thing. All of them had weak carbonation. As a result, this is a beer that's very hard to finish for me. And as a result, I don't like it. Like at all. Except for like I can say that Parallel 49's coffee roasting is great. Sorry, 49 Parallel's coffee roasting tastes pretty great, but beer itself, ugh. Which does get me to another thing. I did look online. I found that a lot of people actually gave this one good reviews. So maybe this is like a cold roaster's dream beer coffee hybrid. I don't know. I've never gone into that. I like my coffee hot. So maybe there's something I'm missing here, but in terms of like mainstream beer appeal, mainstream craft beer appeal, this is a flop as far as I'm concerned in terms of quality. If it sells well, then that's great, and I've seen it for sale for quite a few months, for 2 or 3 months now, so it's not a one-off thing they're going to take off the market, but it's just so unappealing to me. Maybe if you really, really like coffee, cold coffee, you give it a try, because this certainly doesn't taste like a good beer to me. Anyway, that's all for today. It's not as bad as the beers I had to pour out during the snow case. I'm still going to have to pour it out because it's such an unappealing drink to have for me. Like imagine, flat soda. That's what this tastes like in terms of, texture. And that's not a good thing to have. So I'm probably going to pour it out despite the fact it's better than, say, like the barley wine that Phil's made. That tastes like vanilla. It's just unappealing rather than outright horrific. But, yeah, I'll pour it out. Catch you on the flip side. How do you do, fellow kids? Catch you on the flip side. I'm already sounding like an old uncle who's trying to be cool. Oh dear. Hello there. See, she knows how to block the camera. She's a very smart cat. She knows exactly how to ruin any shot I make. Even if I adjust the camera, she will freaking adapt. Won't you?